I am building a robot dog. In my previous video, I made this leg mechanism and I'm really proud of it. It uses a 4-bar linkage so the servo motors control joint angles remotely. It has this spring so the robot can jump. And from what I can tell, this mechanism has only a single problem. It's fucking terrible. It's not rigid at all, you can move the foot 30mm in any direction. If you use this for more than a few minutes, the bolt just gets unscrewed and fall out. And these clamps are completely useless. With a bit of force you can turn the foot out of place. So this is what we're gonna focus on today. We're gonna go from a prototype to a proper functional part. Designing this leg took me over 50 hours. I actually split this video into 6 different parts, so I'm gonna start with part 1 and build the leg up as I go. I'm gonna start by making some tests and taking measurements, because I want to compare the old design to the new one. The rigidity, it's obviously trash, let's say 30mm in each direction. If we subtract 140 grams for the 2 servo motors, all the plastic parts, the bolts, springs and the tubes weigh 100 grams. I want to do a test to see how long it takes for these bolts to fall out. We can run the first test. My guess is that it's gonna take 5 minutes before it disintegrates. It's been 5 minutes, so let's check the damage. Yeah, this screw, it's definitely got a bit unscrewed. You can see there's a lot of space in there. This screw is fine. Okay, I guess it's not that bad. Now I'm gonna try the jumping. Okay, and now it's broken. So that was about 5 minutes of moving up and down and 9 minutes of jumping. Yeah, this is why I need a thread locker. The first thing that needed an upgrade were the joints. This is the old design of the joint. You can see it's just a bolt and a 3D printed part with a hole. This design sucks, the plastic is just gonna wear out over time. I decided to use M3 spacers. These actually fit the M3 bolts pretty well, and if you look at it, the backlash is very low. I also made sure that the spacer is as close to the carbon fiber tube as possible. The more material there is between these two bars, the less rigid it's gonna be. So this is where I'm gonna press fit the M3 spacers, and you can see that I made sure there's not a lot of space between the spacers and the carbon fiber tubes. I actually put all of the plastics into these chamfers to the sides. For these tests and for the whole robot dog, I'm actually going to be using filaments which I got for free from Inslogic. Inslogic offers high performance 3D printing filaments, just like this PA12 carbon fiber one. I actually got PLA Pro and TPU95A from them. The PLA Pro has a tensile strength of 56 megapascals, while the stuff I was using until now has a strength of 34 megapascals. That's actually 65% stronger. I also got this TPU95A, so this is a soft filament which I'm gonna use for the robot's feet. So if you guys want to pick any high performance engineering filaments, I'm gonna link them in the description and you can check them out. This joint is decent and there's basically no backlash. We still need to address the fact that the bolt is gonna fall out. So I got Loctite 242. This is basically a glue. You put it onto the thread, let it solidify. After that, the bolt should be much harder to unscrew. I printed this part. I'm gonna fill these holes with the thread locker and see how much of it I need. It's been about 10 minutes, which should be enough to see the effect. So I'm going to try unscrewing these bolts and let's see what happens. By the way, for the robot dog, I'm gonna let it cure for about a day. Yeah, this is much harder. Oh wow. Yeah, this one was really hard. And this one was the hardest. So what I found out is I want to apply as much Loctite as I can. And it's much better if you apply it to both the hole and the thread. That's what I'm gonna use for every single bolt on the robot duck. The joints were fine, but I still needed some way to attach them to the tubes. Okay, let's talk about the clamps, because the old ones really sucked. This was actually one of the biggest problems of the prototype. So these clamps, they provide no friction. You can just turn the leg out of its place. And if I wanted to tighten it, it just splits the part in half. So these are the two main fixes I needed to do. And surprisingly, it was pretty easy. The clamp looks like this, and I needed to print it in this orientation because this needs to be really strong. This is a problem because if you want to bolt this down, it tends to split the part in this plane. All I needed to do to fix this was to change the bolts. So previously I was using bolts with a countersunk head. If you try to tighten a part with these bolts, the force is gonna be distributed like this, and it wants to split the part apart. I decided I'm gonna change to regular flathead bolts, and I'll also added a washer. So this should distribute the load evenly, and it should press the part like this instead of trying to split it apart. This is pretty thick piece of plastic, 100% infill, and it just smashes the part in half. But with these new bolts, I never had that problem. So I'm gonna use these bolts for all of the joints. With the stronger PLA, it seems that this is gonna become even less of a problem. I'm buying washers, and I figured out something funny. So if I try buying M3 washers, 100 pieces, it costs about $1. And if I try to buy M4 washers, for a single fucking piece, it's still half $1. So I'm just gonna buy this and see if they actually ship a single piece. Are you tired of flying breadboards? How about swinging ones? Do you get comments like this? PCBWay has you covered. PCBs let you transform your shitty circuits into professional looking circuit boards. And with PCBWay, you can get 10 two-layer PCBs for only $5. I'm actually gonna be designing some PCBs for this robot dog, so you'll see how you can design and order them. PCBWay also does milling, turning, 3D printing and manufacturing in general. Also, if you hate soldering like me, you can choose their PCB assembly services. So make sure to click the link in the description and check them out. Okay, let's talk about friction. You know, so the leg doesn't do this. If you try to hold some small tube, you can't really hold it. But if you have a larger tube, like, it's no problem. So that's why I went from 8mm I think to 12mm tube. The second thing we could do is to increase the coefficient of friction. I thought about using heat shrink tubing or some electrical tape, but it actually wasn't necessary. Increasing the diameter and using higher clamping force with the bolt with the washer was just enough. And this actually holds so well that I can use just a single bolt. And this is gonna really speed up the assembly, because if you look at this, there's a shit ton of bolts. Yeah, there's no way this is gonna twist. I think it's a really good design. 20 hours in, and I could finally start designing the linkage. Let's look at the link design. First thing I did is I made sure that all of these tubes have the same diameter. This means that I can reuse these two parts on the rod as well. I made sure that link 2 and rod have the same length, because when I am cutting the tubes I don't have to worry about cutting different lengths. The next step was to decide how long I'm gonna cut these tubes. If you wanna see how I calculated the link lengths to minimize material loss and the number of cuts, I'm gonna post that on my second channel. Before I cut the tubes, I actually want to show you my first prototype of this new design. The link lengths are 1/2 meter long, which means that this leg is gigantic and the rigidity is still fine. So after I'm done making this robot dog, I'm definitely gonna make the links longer and test it just for fun. Yeah, this is pretty fucking terrible. "20 hours of CAD modeling later, and I was able to assemble the leg with the new servo mechanism. As you can see by my previous prototype, this is complicated as fuck. I am slightly dead inside. By the way, if you want to see what I'm up to or you just like shorter content, you can check out my Instagram. Now I got the old and new design side by side and I want to show you how they differ. Firstly, this one is obviously larger, which is great because it should be able to jump higher. With the prototype, it has only a single support. With the new prototype, it has double support for all of the joints. And finally, the mechanism doesn't break anymore. So with the prototype, the parallelogram could easily break. With this new design, there's a physical stop, which prevents the mechanism from getting fucked up, basically. So yeah, that's it. Right now I'm printing clamps to add the spring, and yeah, I'm gonna mount this onto the test stand. And finally, I could test out the new leg. 340 grams. 70 grams per each motor, so that's minus 140, which will give us 200 grams. I've just updated the code and I decided I'm gonna film my first test of the new inverse kinematics. I basically just changed a single fucking number, so I hope it's gonna work. Oh. Holy shit, it fucking works. Okay, now I'm going to be printing a new foot. I'm not gonna use this shitty TPU from AliExpress. I'm actually gonna use TPU 95A from InstLogic. Very nice. Okay, I added the TPU foot, so let's do some testing. I want to see this thing jump. Well, that's kind of weak. Let's increase the stiffness. Yeah, there's a piece of wire that got unsoldered. I did not expect to be soldering at 3 AM. That was kind of depressing. It technically jumps, it's just much worse than before. Yeah, I don't know, maybe there's too much friction in the mechanism, like it's definitely a bit harder to move. Maybe the spring is fresh. I'm gonna look at this at a different time. Sorry for the uninteresting end. I wanted to make this jump much higher than before. So we're gonna look at that in the next video. Thank you guys for watching. Files are gonna be on the Patreon and I'll see you soon.